You spend hours, days, maybe even weeks building your campaign. Every word carefully chosen, every visual painstakingly crafted. You believe this is going to be the one, the message that cuts through the noise, that compels people to act. And yet, nothing happens. Crickets. No clicks. No response. That sinking feeling hits hard, right in the gut. What went wrong? Why is everyone ignoring your message as if it's invisible? You're not alone in this. There's a fundamental reason campaigns fail to connect that almost nobody talks about. Here's the brutal truth nobody wants to say. Campaigns die because they don't feel real, don't feel urgent, don't speak the language that wakes people up from the daily fog of distraction. When you launch a campaign, you're asking someone to stop scrolling, to shift their focus, to trust you enough to take the next step. If your campaign doesn't crack through that wall, it's dead from the start. And most campaigns don't even come close. So what is it that creates that wall? It's the comfort of the usual. The tired clichés recycled 1,000 times. The same buzzwords, the same vague promises, the same desperate tries to impress instead of connect. People have grown numb to marketing noise because it treats them like data points, not as human beings who crave something real, who hunger for meaning and clarity. But here's what makes a campaign click. Literally. Raw, unfiltered relevance that nails exactly where the person is right now, not where they were yesterday or where you think they should be. Campaigns that tap into the specific pain so deeply that it's undeniable. Campaigns that offer a way out, an escape hatch from the rut, the mediocre, the meaningless hustle. When you touch that nerve, you break the scroll paralysis. You spark action. Maybe you've been told it's about finding your audience or optimizing your funnel. Those things matter, sure, but they miss the point if you aren't brutally honest about who you're talking to and what fire is burning inside them. Your audience isn't a vague market segment. It's a human being wrestling with real problems, insecurity, and the weight of expectation. Your words need to meet that storm head on, not dance around it. Here's where most campaigns unravel. You try to sound perfect, polished, or impressive, but in the process, you sterilize the message. You scrub away urgency, passion, doubt, and rawness. You end up with something safe that nobody feels compelled to engage with, because safe is invisible. If you want clicks, you have to get messy. You have to be authentic to the point it hurts. You have to show you get their pain better than anyone else. And it's not just about showing pain, it's about pointing to the escape. What is the path out of the frustration they feel? What is the next step that leads to transformation, not just distraction? People buy transformation. They buy freedom from the trap they're stuck in. If your campaign doesn't offer that clear, compelling path, it stays ignored in the feed. Now listen carefully. The world wants to keep people comfortable, compliant, safe in their little bubbles. It sells the idea of freedom, but enslaves us to rules, norms, and expectations disguised as the way things are. If your campaign echoes that noise, it will be swallowed by it. If your message challenges the grip of the status quo, it will either get ignored or it will light a fire that spreads. So the real power lies in daring to be different, risk everything, and speak in a way that shakes the foundation of what people believe or accept. Not lightly, not just to provoke, but to awaken. To make your audience question their assumptions and see the possibility beyond the cage they've been handed. It's terrifying to do that. It's vulnerable. But it's the only way to break the silence and inspire real action. The campaigns that succeed, and by that, really succeed, are those that embody that rebellion. They speak to the rebels, the misfits, the restless souls who refuse to live borrowed lives. Those few who burn rather than bend. Here's a professional secret rooted deep in psychology and marketing, but rarely practiced. Use the language of escape and freedom instead of sales. Paint the picture of what's wrong in a way that someone feels it in their bones. Then guide them gently but relentlessly to the door that opens to something much bigger and better. This is the narrative arc that hooks attention and keeps it locked in. Another game changer? Cut the fluff. Stop layering your message with meaningless promises or jargon. Speak with the heart and mind of the individual, not the corporate robot. Use simple, clear words, words that carry weight because they touch what's inside. No complicated metaphors, no trying to sound important, just pure clarity and connection. And do not underestimate the power of storytelling, not the fake, rehearsed kind, but the kind that reveals vulnerability and courage. Stories that make people see themselves in your message, that say, "You are not alone, and there is a way through." Relatability breaches barriers no data or ad tech can breach. Don't be afraid to be lean and focused. The world is drowning in noise. The rare and the powerful only have time and attention to invest where there is unmistakable value. Every word must pull its weight. Every second must ratchet up the urgency and desire. There is no room for filler or hesitation. Lastly, build trust by showing you're aligned with their values. Those core, sometimes unspoken beliefs about freedom, autonomy, growth, and truth. When your campaign resonates on that level, it's magnetic. It stops being something to scroll past and becomes a beacon of possibility. Look, this isn't about perfect funnels or viral hacks alone. It's a revolution in how campaigns speak to people who refuse to settle for less. It is about standing with those who question, who dare to break their invisible chains, who thirst for meaningful connection in a tired world. You hold the power to craft campaigns that don't just sit there unnoticed, but explode through the noise, cause a stir, spark conversations, and ultimately ignite change. To do this, shake off the temptation to conform and compromise. Speak with fire, speak with clarity, speak with courage. Because in a world desperate for real connection, not mass noise, campaigns that cut deep, that feel raw and human, become unstoppable. They don't just get clicks, they build movements, they awaken rebels, they create a space where the rare and brilliant find each other. So next time there's a campaign to launch, remember, your audience is starving for authenticity, craving a real path out of their struggle, and searching for a spark of freedom. Give that to them. Cut through the illusions. Make your words count. Watch how the clicks come, not by accident, but because you dared to be different, real, and urgent. That's why people will finally click.